Hey, if it isn't Ramen Noodle Jim. Thanks so much for tuning in to the channel today. Today, I am going to read some more Reddit stories, and I hope you enjoy them. This first one was reposted in r/amIthedevil, but it was initially posted in r/2hottakes, which I haven't checked out before, but if you guys enjoyed the voiceovers, maybe I'll check it out and read some stuff from there. The original post was entitled, "My Husband Made Our Nanny Quit." And then the repost title is, "She Doesn't Seem to Get the Real Problem." But let's find out what this real problem is. I, 29 female, am married to my husband, 34 male, and we have a nanny who's 21. We hired our nanny over a year ago when I was pregnant with our baby girl, while I had a toddler, 2 at the time, now 4, as well, and couldn't do much, and my husband couldn't be with me all the time due to his work. She is amazing with our girls. She has helped me so much during the last few months of my pregnancy, and especially postpartum. None of my friends are pregnant yet, so they couldn't always help me, and I don't have mom, nor am I close to my mother-in-law. I didn't have anyone to confide in like that. Our nanny has so much experience and was amazing to me. She made me amazing soups and stews from her culture that were made to help pregnant women. It was amazing. She would make my toddler have quiet time, which was even more amazing. She is always on time. She's very clean, an amazing cook, and really fun with the girls, and a good teacher as well. Our nanny and my husband only met once, and that was during our Zoom meeting, and they have never met after that, since she gets here after my husband leaves, and leaves before he comes back. Because of this, they've never crossed paths before. 3 weeks ago, me and my husband got really sick, and so my husband stayed home from work. Due to how sick I was, I forgot to relay this information to our nanny. Our baby has been extremely clingy the past few months and will cry if left alone. I usually bring her in the bathroom with me, but the bathroom downstairs is much smaller, so our nanny can't do that as comfortably. She decided to just start using the bathroom with the door cracked open and would give our baby a toy outside so she's not tempted to come in, but can still see her. I'm aware of this and am fine with it since it's only us girls home. While my husband was home, unbeknownst to her, she went to use the bathroom with the door open, and my husband saw her. She completely freaked out and apologized profusely. She was wearing a romper, so she was almost completely undressed when he saw her. I had no issue and apologized to her that I forgot to let her know my husband was home. Everything was fine, but I sensed she was extremely uncomfortable, which I kept apologizing for. The next few days, my husband started going to work late and coming home early, to which there would be more interactions between him and the nanny. When I hired our nanny, one of the things she told me was that she wasn't comfortable with adult men in the house, which was not a problem since our arrangement didn't allow for it. When he would see her, he kept trying to make personal conversations which our nanny redirected to the girls. Last week, she spoke with me and reminded me of the agreement we had, which was no adult men in the house, and that she was uncomfortable. I completely understood where she was coming from. I spoke with my husband, and he apologized to her and me. The next day, he went to work, normal. Then 2 days later, he told me he had to work from home since his office is getting worked on. We talked to our nanny, and my husband told us that he would stay upstairs the whole time, which worked for the rest of last week. Monday, he accidentally forgot his coffee and went to get it while our nanny was there. He asked her how her weekend was, which she responded good, and then he had the nerve to ask her if she saw her boyfriend. She responded no, and that she didn't have one. He went on to ask her what type of men she was into. I went downstairs quickly to stop it and apologized to our nanny. When we got upstairs, I yelled at him for talking to her like that and reminded him that we had agreed on what he would do, and that was to stay away from her. I noticed he was monitoring the nanny cam a lot, and he told me he was just checking in on the girls. Yesterday, I had a really bad stomach ache because I'm lactose intolerant, and my husband accidentally put whole milk in both of our coffees. I asked him to go end the day with the nanny and lock up the door after her. Unbeknownst to me, he started asking her what type of men she was into and was telling her how he's dated black women before and is into them. Our nanny is black, and equally problematic I am not. He also jokingly grabbed her shoulders to pick her up. He also jokingly grabbed her shoulders to pick her up and move her aside to get to the fridge. Why he didn't say excuse me is beyond me right now. Last night our nanny tried calling me, but I was sleeping because I took some medicine for my stomach. I awoke today to see a text from her that she was quitting because she didn't feel comfortable coming to the house anymore. I texted and called her and she hasn't picked up. I'm beyond angry at my husband and took some time to calm down, but really I cannot. I don't think I can replace her, and truly I don't want to. I don't want to start this all over again. We know each other so well. We have inside jokes. We have memories that I can't recreate. She is someone I have felt comfortable enough to confide in with everything. She has been with me throughout special months with the kids and even for me. I'm not upset with her at all and completely understand she may be shaken up by yesterday, so I've accepted giving her some space. I just really wasn't prepared for this. Edit explanation. First, for people saying our nanny is wrong because my husband lives here and should be comfortable, she came highly recommended from a woman from our church, and we wanted her. She gave us her requirements, and one of them was that she's uncomfortable working with adult men in the house. We agreed, including my husband. Whenever he has finished work early, he stops by somewhere else to work or hang out until the nanny leaves. Nanny isn't mentally ill for not wanting men in the house. She has explained to me that she's had issues with husbands making weird advances or sometimes wives accusing her of things. So to avoid problems, she just doesn't do men in the house. Also, I explained why Nanny used the bathroom with the door open. It doesn't happen often, as she normally tries to go when the baby is down, since the toddler doesn't mind. Second, I still have a nanny because I'm not trying to start work. Third, I do not like my husband. Third, I do not like my husband, nor do I condone his behavior. We have had issues since he became useless to our family. My needs weren't grave when I was pregnant. I just needed certain food, medicine, and help with showers, but he wouldn't help with anything, and this was with our first child. And the second one, we got a nanny. I have thought about divorce before, but I kind of need his money. If it was just me, I'd like to have divorced him already, but I have kids, so I am aware of what he was trying to do. I have talked to and scolded him. Fourth, I usually make our coffees, but he made them yesterday because the baby kept me up all night and he was home. I put the drink in glass containers with labels that it would be easy to mix up. It also tasted the same. Also, I use Reddit regularly, but I'm on a completely different side of Reddit. There are so many things people have said here that I've had to look up. I'm not making up my story and can post some screenshots of messages I have to our nanny. And some of you are extremely cruel to say that you hope my husband does this to our girls when they are older. What a disgusting thing to say. Yeah, pretty crazy. That was posted today, September 14th. Story number 2. It comes from r/relationship advice, and it's entitled, I'm 23 female, gonna bring up what happened before we were exclusive to my boyfriend, 27 male, tonight. Hi. Hi. I've posted before, but lately it's been haunting me that for the first 6 months my boyfriend and I were dating, when we weren't exclusive, we've been together over a year now, and he told me that we weren't dating when we were hanging out, so I would still go out, party, and flirt with other guys, and some stuff that happened, because I didn't want to be committed to someone who didn't want to be committed to me. But the fact that I did those things before we had the exclusive conversation haunts me. I feel so filthy, guilty, and like I did something horrible. Everyone tells me that we weren't in a relationship, so I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm just an incredibly anxious person who doesn't feel comfortable having secrets. Last week, we said I love you for the first time, and he told me he knew he loved me since the day we met, which is cute, but come on. If it were like that, then why was he so avoidant of commitment for the first 6 months? Not the point, though, and my reply to that was that I felt the same way. However, I was surprised to hear him say that, since he stated during the first few months that we weren't even dating. Now he's saying that he never said that and stuff, but I swear to God that he did. So tonight I'm going to let him know before we had our chat about being exclusive, I was not acting like a girlfriend because we weren't that, and that I'm just telling him because I don't want to feel like I'm hiding something. I'm scared, but I can't keep living with feeling like I'm hiding something. Last story for today comes from r/am I the asshole. My 51 father, daughter, 26 female, used to be a med student. However, she dropped out after only 1 year as she couldn't handle the pressure. Since then, she's been jumping from low-class job to low-class job, and it seems like she has lost all motivation of doing anything meaningful with her life. At the start of this year, she introduced me to this man in his mid-20s, I think, as her new boyfriend. For a laborer, he seemed like a decent enough guy, even though I was a little put off at how he'd sometimes start muttering to himself. But my daughter eventually told me that he has schizophrenia, but that he's on meds for it in order to manage his symptoms, and that I don't need to worry. However, last week she announced that she got pregnant by the same schizophrenic boyfriend, and that they already made plans to move in together by the end of this month. Honestly, I felt so disappointed in her. Not only did she tie down plans to raise children with a man that needs constant medication to not be a danger to himself or the people around them, but she's exposed her future children to the same fate as him, as schizophrenia is likely to pass on to generations, and now, at best, my grandchildren will either need to sustain themselves on meds for the rest of their lives as well, or will straight up be locked up because of their mental illness. This person definitely doesn't understand what schizophrenia is. I told my daughter that she was incredibly irresponsible to get pregnant out of wedlock by a man who's going to pass his mental illness to her children, especially when neither of them are even well off because of her giving up her college prospects. She told me that they didn't plan for this child, but they want to keep it, and that she loves this man and she's willing to raise a family with him regardless of their struggles they face. I reminded her that while love is nice, it won't solve all of the financial and medical problems her unborn kid will suffer because of her poor life decisions. However, she suddenly started having a screaming tantrum about me not supporting her poor life decisions. I told her that I'm not going to support whatever mess she landed herself into, which ended up with my daughter cursing me out and then storming off. Today, I received a message from my daughter's boyfriend. My daughter hasn't contacted me after our fight, where he told me that I'm a psychopathic monster for making my daughter cry for 2 days straight, and to go to hell. Frankly, I don't know if I even want to respond to this message, considering how unstable this man is. However, I do want to know if what I told my daughter could have been taken in the wrong way. After all, I still want what's best for her. Am I the asshole? Yeah. I wanted to comment, but the comments were locked before I could post. And that comment would have been, well, your grandkids will certainly need to be on meds regardless if the schizophrenia gets passed genetically, so long as you are in their life. You sound like Lois's dad from Family Guy. Lamau. Very insightful. So the top comment declared Prime Ministered. Minnie's turd. You are the asshole. And then, quote, for a laborer, he seems like a decent enough guy. I think this captures exactly why. Boy, are you classist and judgmental. And then caption, pregnant out of wedlock. Again, seeing a very specific asshole-ish bias. Guess what, lady? It's okay to be neurodivergent. I feel sorry for your daughter, whose mother has very conditional love for her. The entire time I thought this was the father. I don't know what made me think that, because it said 51F. Silly goose moment. Anyhow, that's all. Thank you.